Now, those of you guys who know anything about platinum real estate, if you've ever been to one of my webinars, workshops, boot camps, ever heard me speak live, you guys know at platinum real estate how we always start. I always say, God have been extremely good to me. He's been a extreme blessing. So before any event, before we start anything, we always start with, you're exactly right. We always start with the word of prayer because God is truly blessing this corporation. So, you guys, let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we just come to you today once again with bowed heads and humble hearts. Father, we thank you for this time. We thank you for all of the wonderful things you're doing with Platinum Real Estate. We thank you for this season. Father God, we pray that we're able to take this information, to break it down, to simplify it so everybody's able to use it. And ultimately, it is a blessing for you, the kingdom of God. Father, we pray that Platinum Real Estate will always be doing things that's pleasing in your sight. This we ask in the precious name of Jesus the Christ. Amen. All right, you guys, let's get cranked up. First of all, I want to definitely remind everybody, if you are not a platinum real estate agent, we have career opportunities. We have some excellent programs. We have one-on-one coaching programs. We have 100% plan. We have education. We have training every single week, just like this. My goal, our goal, and our corporation is to help you take your real estate career to the next level. So if you're interested in, taking your career to the next level, maybe you've been in the business for 1 week, or maybe you've been in the business for 20 years. If you want to advance your career, take your career to the next level, please contact us. Shoot us an email, careers@platinumrealestate.com. That's careers@platinumrealestate.com. Or you can call or text us, 404-994-4600. That's 404-994-4600. You can call or text that number. I would love to talk to you about career opportunities with our firm. Okay. So we do have career opportunities available. Next, look, you guys, I have I repeat this again, a free CE course that's coming up January 6th and 7th, 2021. January 6th, January 7th, I have a free 3-hour CE course. It's from 12:30 until 2:15 both days. So it's from 12:30 to 2:15 January the 6th, 12:30 to 2:15 January the 7th, 2 days, and you will receive 3 hours worth of CE credits, and it's absolutely free. It's on me. But I always say, don't come for the CE credits. Even though that's important, even though you have to have CE credits, don't come for the CE credits. Come for the knowledge, come for the education. I want to show you the master plan for 2021. What's working, what's not working, what you should do, what you should not do. At Platinum Real Estate, we have a coaching session every Tuesday at 8:30. And I started this Tuesday teaching some of my agents some of the master plan, telling them some of the things they have to do in 2021 to be successful. You guys, 2020 is over. 2020 was different than we've ever seen before. With the COVID virus and COVID-19 and shutdowns and all of this, 2020 was a totally different year. I remember back in 2008 when the market crashed. That again was a totally different year. But we've come through that. 2021 is going to be a great year. But you can't do the same thing you was doing in 2020, 2019, 2015, 2013. There's a new master plan for 2021. And I'm going to spend January 6th and January 7th talking about that master plan. Yes, 3 CE credits, but here's the deal. You have to register. Go to my website, lutherragsdale.com. You can register at events.lutherragsdale.com, or you can go directly to lutherragsdale.com, click the events link, and there it is right there for you. I highly recommend you spend this time with me. If you want 2021 to be the best year of your life, let me help you put together the plan. The plan is everything. It's a webinar. It's online. No excuses. Register. Be there both days. Absolutely free. 3 CE credits when you're done. Okay. All right. So, with all of that being said, what are we here to talk about today? We're going to talk about inspections. And at Platinum Real Estate, you guys know that we have a preferred vendors list. So this preferred vendors list is vendors that's on the list that help us, Platinum Real Estate. And I think everybody will agree, inspections are pretty important, right? And so first, let me ask you guys to answer a quick poll for me. When it comes to inspections, okay, when you write a contract and you have the contract and the appraisal, a part of the real estate prospect is the inspection. I'm kind of curious. I want to launch a poll. Do you recommend inspections to your clients? Yes or no? Answer the poll that's on the screen. Do you recommend inspections to your clients? So when you're going through the real estate process, do you recommend inspections? Because let's keep this in mind. An inspection isn't mandatory. So the mortgage company don't always say you have to have an inspection. Yes, the mortgage company wants an appraisal, but the mortgage company don't always say, hey, you are required to have an inspection. So I'm a little curious. Answer the poll on the screen. Do you recommend inspections to your clients? Let me see. Well, hey, you know what? We have 100% response that says all of you guys recommend inspections. Hey, wonderful. So the poll says 100% of all of you guys on the line right now recommend inspections. So I don't need, it is needless to say, you need a good inspector, good inspector on your team. And let me tell you guys, raise the man. Because I have been doing this for almost 30 years. I've had good inspectors. I've had bad inspectors. I know what some of you guys are thinking. Oh my God, will the inspector blow my deal? What I love about Ray is he's thorough, he's professional, he's on point. I have never ever called, text, or email Ray and he did not get right back to me. I love Ray's reports. I love divine inspection reports. And some of you guys, some of you platinum agents know, I have had inspection companies in the past that I had to dissolve the relationship with them because of one thing that I'm really, really big on, and that's customer service. What I love about Ray will not only do that inspection, but if you have questions, he answers the questions and he explains it. So without any further ado, I want to bring Ray Lawrence on. And I want him to talk about the inspection process, and I want him to really, I asked him to dig deep about the water heaters, and I want to go a little deep on the water heaters. Now, in the future, we are going to talk about the pre-inspection, like when a home is being built. We are going to talk about radon inspections. We got a lot of great stuff that that Ray is going to teach us coming up in the near future. But right now, I asked him to talk about that inspection process and to get into the heat, get into those heaters as well. Um, Let me give everybody his information. So it's on the screen, but if you are calling in via phone, here's his information. Cell phone number 678 650 6254. Again, 678 650 6254. That's his cell phone number. That's the best way to contact him. Also, Ray at divineinspectionllc.com. Email address Ray, RAY, at divinehomeinspection.llc.com. Feel free, reach out to him, schedule your next inspection. Everybody says, hey, yes, you are using the inspections. That's great. Now you're going to have somebody on the team that can help you with those inspections. So without any further ado, Ray.
Hey, Luther.
Ray, hey man, first of all, thank you very, very much for coming on and educating all these real estate agents and educating folk on the inspection process. Thank you for your time and thank you for being a partner with Platinum Real Estate.
Thank you, Luther. Thank you for inviting me out and giving me this opportunity.
Great, great, great. Well, let's jump right on in here.
All right, all right. All right, so today we're gonna talk a little about the water heater. The water heater sometimes get overlooked, especially when the homeowner move into the property because either or basement, garage, or any kind of storage. So sometimes we overlook the water heater, especially when it comes down to the maintenance part of it. So we're going to talk a little bit about maintenance, keeping the water heater maintenance once a year. All right. So like I said, you want to go ahead and locate your water heater. Make sure you know where the water heater is located. So once you locate the water heater, every month, what I would like for my clients, I tell my clients to do, go ahead and inspect the water heater. Walk around it, make sure you don't see any waters on the ground or any drain pan. So you just want to make sure that you don't see any kind of condensation build up around that water heater. That way you won't come home to any kind of surprise. All right, next slide, please. So now you want to know what type of water heater you have. On the left, you have your gas water heater. And you can tell the gas by the gas pipe and the control, the thermostat that's on the gas water heater. And to the right, you have an electric water heater. All right. And with the electric water heater, that it gets its power straightly from the electric panel. So those are your two water heaters. Now you do have more different types of water heater. You have like a tankless water heater. We're not going to get into that too much, but your main water heater is going to be gas or electric. All right. And next slide, please.
And let me ask a couple of questions here. You know,
okay.
I have seen the gas, I have seen the electric, right? Mm-hmm. What's the pros and cons between the two? And if my water heater goes out, or if I'm building a brand new house, what's the pros and cons between the gas and the electric?
Well, it's really based up. I think it's a personal preference because some people say that the gas water heater heats up faster than the electric water heater. So it's really a preference type of thing. Do you want to have a gas bill, or do you don't want to have a gas bill? So I think it's more so of a preference on the homeowner or the different people who buy in the house. So it's really a personal preference.
One more quick question that I have, and this is just me personally. Look, this is just my personal question. Listen, both of these water heaters, I'm going to say look old school. I'll just call it old school, old school.
Okay.
Now, I guess about maybe 4 years ago, my hot water tank went out. and I replaced it.
Mhm.
And when I went to replace it, I got the same water heater, the same, I would say, old school, and I replaced it with that same old school. Here's my
Okay.
question. One of the sales people was trying to sell me this new improved, it was like flat on the wall and computerized and all that. And I said I was going to get that next time, right? I was like, you know what? Let me do the research because my water heater went out. I had an emergency. I had to make a decision. So I put the same thing back in. But I said I'm going to do some research and I may replace it, or when the next time it goes out, they have these flat, computerized, fancy, more expensive water heaters. Question: are they better? Is it really? Is it a hype? Is it just more expensive, or does it really save on my bill? Tell me a little bit about those new, improved, computerized, flat on the wall type of water heaters that's out there now.
Okay, those it's what you call a tankless water heater. And yes, my opinion, because I have one, is better to me because it's instant hot water. Hot water, it heats the water up instantly. So you don't have to wait. You don't have this big old tank in your garage, stuff like that. So from my experience, I love it. I love it because you get the same quality that you get from a gas water heater, and you get it quicker. And you don't have to worry about wasting all that water. Because with your traditional water heater, you got 50 gallons that water is holding in that tank. So that's a lot of water that generate on your water bill. So that'll make your water bill kind of high. With the tankless water heater, you save money on your water bill.
Really?
Yes.
Ooh, I should have went for it, man. Just roughly, tankless compared to these old school ones. What's roughly the difference on the upfront cost?
Up front, you'll probably pay, I think, right at $1,200, $1,300.
Okay, but you're saying
Mm-hmm.
over the long haul, I will save money.
You would save money, yes, yes, because you're not storing all that water like you would do in your traditional water heater.
Or are they less likely to, malfunction and mess up and all that kind of stuff?
No, no, I haven't had any. Even when I inspect them, I haven't had any problem with them. They last a good little while. Your typical water heater will last a long time too if you maintenance it well. But the tankless water heater, they do pretty good. I haven't had any problem with them.
Really?
They're just expensive, so that's the problem.
So next time is I need to go ahead and do that 1,200 thing. Let me do that, man. I didn't
Yeah,
know. I
yeah,
I
you'll
didn't
save. You'll
know.
love it.
I
You'll
love
love
it,
it.
huh?
I
Oh,
love it.
goodness. I was in such of an emergency. You're talking about $1,200 is I hadn't researched it. So I was like, look, I'm going to keep doing what I do because I haven't had time to research it. I don't have time to research it. I have an emergency, but it sounds like tankless is really the way to go, huh? You really recommend
Yes,
it.
yes, yes.
Should I wait until this one go out, or does it make sense just to go ahead and just swap them now, even
Uh,
though nothing's wrong?
well, I would wait if
Okay.
not in the need of a new water heater. I would wait to switch it out. Now, if you're trying to move and upgrade the home, you want to add that luxury to it. Yes, you can go ahead and change it out.
And it saves space and all that kind of good stuff too, right?
It saves space because it's on the wall versus this big old tank sitting in the middle of your floor. And then
Well,
some of them,
yeah. Go ahead.
you can mount on the outside of the home. So they got different types that you can buy.
Really?
Yes.
Because
Uh-huh.
and I am asking this for me personally. I have a custom garage where it is carpet in the garage. The garage is painted and it's chandeliers, and it's a nice garage. And so I do have a water tank in the garage, but I basically had to cover it up because the garage is painted and carpet on the garage floor and chair rail all around my. Well, anyway, enough about
Right.
me. All right, questions. But I'm gonna get that though, man. Look, I learned something
Right.
today. I like that tankless water tank. I think it's worth the $1,200. I'm gonna have to get that. Good, hey, good point. Hey, questions? Any questions? Let me check my chat. Questions. You know what? I have questions on what's the price range of the what? Look, everybody's blowing up the chat like, what's the price range? Hey, we got it. All right, next slide. Let's move on.
All right, on this slide, we're going to talk about the pressure release valve. All right, this is very important with the pressure release valve. You should check that valve once. So I say once a month with me. I like to check it. A lot of home inspectors don't like to check because they feel like if they press it or release it, it's gonna keep leaking. Keep in mind, if anytime you press it and it doesn't do anything, you got to replace that valve. Or if you press it and then once you set it back in place and it start leaking, that means it's a problem. So a lot of home inspectors don't like to check them, but I do anyway. So that way, if it's leaking, it's an issue. So you always want to check the pressure valve because what it is, the tank build up pressure. So when the pressure get too high, the pressure valve will release that water or air out the tank. So that way the hot water heater won't blow up or explode. You know, if you can Google it too. It's been plenty of time back in the day where the hot water heater will explode and shoot through a roof. So you definitely want to check those pressure release valve at least, like I said, once a month. And then you also have your main cutoff valve sits on top of the water heater on both, whether it's a gas or whether it's a electric. You're gonna have the cutoff valve. Now, what that cutoff valve does, it cuts the water off to like all your fixtures, like your sink, the hot water going to the sink, the hot water going to the tub. So you set that off, and that won't you won't get any more hot water to those fixtures in the bathroom. And you would do that when you're getting ready to maintenance your tank. So you want to cut that water off and go ahead and release the pressure in the tank, and then you'll be good to go to the next step. So we can move to the next slide. So on the next slide, once you get to you locate your pressure valve, you're gonna try to find out where is the water power at, the source of power that goes to the water heater. For example, with the electric water heater, you want to go to the main panel, and on the main panel you have a breaker that you cut off. It's gonna say water heater on there, so you would shut that off, and then you will go back to the tank and shut the main shut off. Go ahead and cut the water shut off. And then on gas water heaters, you have the control valve, which is the thermostat. So you will go ahead and turn it all the way down to the lowest number. That way, the burners won't be on when you start draining your tank. Because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to go ahead and maintenance the tank and go ahead and drain it. So before you drain the water out of the tank, you have to cut the power source off, which is on the gas, you're going to turn the thermostat down. And on the electric, you're going to go to the panel and shut it off at the panel. Do we have any questions on that?
Hey, let me make this point. And I look, once again, I just have to just keep it real, man. I do not do this once a month. Man, I am so glad you were telling us this. I will be the first to tell you, man, I don't look at that hot water tank. I don't mess with that hot water tank. But what you're saying is this should happen at least once a month. And this will
you should drain. You should drain the tank once a year, but you should check the pressure valve once a month.
Okay, got you. So drain it once a year. So if I do it now around Christmas, the first of the year, I should do that every year.
Yes. Every year.
And I promise you, once a month.
Yep. And if you do that once a year, I promise you, the life of that tank, it will last. It probably will last as long as you're living in the house. You won't have those tanks, busting at the bottom if you drain it, if you maintenance every year.
Wow.
All right. So, yep.
And let me make this point too. Another thing, and this is to all my real estate agents out there. This is another reason why this is extremely important, because one thing that I do, and years and years and years and years ago, over 20 years ago, I took all of the inspection classes where I could become quote unquote certified, and I got the little certificate and all that. But agents, I did that because every house that I sell and every house that I list, right before the closing, at the final walkthrough, I always take my client and I show them the shutoff valve. I show them the electrical panel. I show them the pressure valve for the hot water heater. I just show them this as a service. Now, Ray have already completed the inspection. So the inspection's completed. We know that the inspection is on point. But I just simply show my client the electrical box. I show them where the hot water heater is, just as a service so that they know. So another very important part of what you are learning now with the webinar is you're learning what's a shutoff valve, where the pressure valve is at, where it's at, and what it's called. And this is very important information, and it really gives you great knowledge as a real estate agent. But would you agree, Ray?
Yes, yes. And you know, when I do my home inspection, at the end of my inspection, I do a walkthrough with my clients. So at the end of the inspection, everything I'm teaching you guys now, I do a whole walkthrough with that water heater. I tell them how to maintain it. I show them the shutoff valve, the pressure valve. So I do this at the end of every inspection that I do.
Okay, couple of questions, Ray. One question, good question. Here's a good question. One of the agents, they're saying, Ray, I have a gas water heater. It is 21 years old. It have never broken down yet, but it's 21 years old. About how many more years do I have before this thing can kind of go out? You know, what's the average lifespan of a gas or an electric water heater?
The average lifespan is about 15 years, they say. But again, like even right now, if that agent, if she go ahead and go ahead and maintenance and go ahead and drain that tank, it can last another 10, 15 years. It's just all about how you maintain your water heater. And like I said in the beginning, you know, when we buy a house, the water heater, like Mr. Luther said, his water heater's in his garage behind something. So we guys being behind something, we don't think nothing of that water heater. We don't even look at it anymore. So you have to go ahead and start maintaining and train yourself to go ahead and look around the area, make sure you don't see any leaks. So if you're taking care of it and maintaining it, you'll be good to go.
Question. I have another question here. It says, hey, should the homeowner check? No, it says, should the homeowner check the valve once a month? And if I'm not comfortable on doing it, this is a very, very good question. Yeah. The agent said, if I'm not comfortable doing it myself, who do I call to do this for me? Is it a plumber?
Yes, it's a plumber. You call your plumber out to do it for you.
Okay, the plumber can do it for us. So what do we learn just by those two questions? Look, I'm learning too. 15 years is about what we should, expect. After that, we really can't get mad. So if we 21 years in, and that thing blow out, you done got your money's worth, right?
Right.
And then the next question was, all right, if I'm not feeling like maintaining this myself, who do I call? And the answer is call the plumber.
Call your plumber. Yes, call your plumber.
Now,
a lot of people are not comfortable doing it.
Huh?
Yeah, I said, a lot of people not comfortable doing it. So call your plumber.
And get them out there once a month.
Yep.
And if you're like me, and if you haven't done it since you don't know when, I need to get him out there like next week. Check on this house.
Right.
Right. Because I know I haven't done it once a month. Now, let me ask you this. The other hot water tank, the one that you have, the $1,200 job, tankless.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, now this is tankless, so it don't have no water in it, right? So it's nothing to drain.
Right.
Right. So right. Do I still maintenance this once a month and all that good stuff with the tankless?
Yes. I actually have my plumber come out and maintenance. Just to come and check the plumbing, the pressure on it. So you still have to check the plumbing, make sure there's no leak, especially if you have a gas. So you still have to maintenance. You don't have to do it once a month. You can do that one once a year.
Okay, so that tankless, baby, I pay for it. Somebody comes out once a year, that's it. I don't have to worry about once a month. It's just once a year and that's it.
That's it. Yep, correct.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well. Look, you get my 1,200, right? You get my 1,200. You getting close there. All right. Next slide.
All right, so the next slide we're gonna talk about the main water shutoff. All right, and like I said, the main water shutoff typically is going to be in your garage or close to your hot water. Now that's not always the case. In your older home, it can be in a crawl space, or if like when I go out and I inspect the home, if I can't see it, I don't see the main shutoff. What I normally tell my client, the shutoff valve is at the street. The main shutoff is at the street. So you got to locate the main shutoff and know where it's at all times. Not just because of the water heater, but let's say if you got a problem upstairs, pipe bust upstairs, and you want to shut that water off quick, the main shutoff is where you're going to cut it off at. So like I said, your newer home, they definitely going to either be in the basement, garage, or a crawl space. All right. If you can't find it, you have to go out to the street and cut it off from the street. All right. And what we're gonna do with when you drain in the water heater, you have to cut that off after you cut the power supply off. So you want to cut the power supply off first, and then come and cut the main water shut off for the next step. All right, we can go to the next step. Next slide. All right. So now it's time to go ahead and drain the water heater. Now every water heater, they have a drain at the bottom of the water heater. And what you're gonna do, you're gonna hook up your water hose to it. Or if you're not close to a water hose, you're gonna grab your bucket and bring and put it close to it. So once you get ready, before you drain, go ahead and hit the pressure valve again. Just check it again, make sure all the pressure is out. And then go ahead, put your bucket on there or hook your water hose up and run it out the house and drain it. Now, when you're using the bucket, of course, you're gonna have to drain it. When it fill up, get about a 5-gallon, fill it up to the top, then drain it. Once it fill up, cut it off and run outside and dump it. You're gonna keep going back and forth to do it, but you want to drain your water tank. All right, next slide. All right, so the reason we drain the water tank because of the sediment that's sitting at the bottom of the water tank. And what that is, you got like rust particles that can build up and sit in the bottom of the tank. And also dirt can build up and sit at the bottom of the tank. So you want to drain that. You don't want all that stuff sitting in your tank and you taking bath with that kind of water. So you want to drain it, like I said, once a year to get all that sediment out and all that dirt out of there. And then what's going to happen is, like I said, that's what's going to save the life of your water heater because you don't have all those particles in at the bottom, the clay in the bottom of your tank. So you want to make sure you drain it out. All right, next slide.
Now, I just want to say this, man. I was sitting there thinking, man, you know what? This is money right here because I know, man, look, I know these folks ain't draining their tank no once a year. I
Right.
ain't never drained mine. And you know
Right.
what? Mine went out. I bought a new one, and that probably 4 or 5 years ago. And I just bought a new one and hooked it up. Like you said, it is in my garage and it's hidden. I just let it do what it do, and we
Right.
don't worry about it until it goes out. But here's some points we need to make to everybody on the call today, which I didn't realize. So there's dirt and sediment and stuff that's settling in the bottom of this water heater. Is if we don't drain it once a year?
Right. Yep.
Is that right? And so that's causing problems. That messes up the life of the water heater. That shortens the life of the water heater. That's just not good for any of us, right?
Right. So
Now,
imagine something. When your tank went out, did you see any brown water or anything coming out when it started to go bad? Did the
you
water
know
turn
what?
brown?
You know what happened to me? It started to go bad. And being a real estate broker and I own a lot of properties. And I have my own maintenance crew. I just called them. They came over. They said I needed another one, and I really didn't get into it. I remember that that's the water came out of it, but I don't remember if it was brown or not. And it was about 3-4 years ago. And I need to be ashamed myself because I haven't done nothing to that water tank in 4 years, which is probably like most people that's listening to this right now. We don't fool with that hot water tank.
Right.
Now, Is the sediment in the water tank, or are we drinking it and taking baths in it and all that stuff too?
No, luckily it settles at the bottom of the tank. And the tank doesn't move, so you don't have to worry about it being disturbed. So it's just sitting at the bottom and decaying the bottom of the tank.
Okay,
So
but
that's why
once
you
we
don't see it
drain it,
until it go bad. So let's say when it get bad and it fills up, it's so much build up, and then you'll start seeing it coming out the tank. Once it builds up once it build up, then it start coming out the tank. So that's why you
gotcha,
gotta drain it. Yeah,
gotcha. But about time it build up and it's coming out and all that, I got a problem by that point.
you got a problem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I got a problem. Yeah, once it start to build up and coming out, I got some problem with that bad boy.
Hmm. Yep.
Okay, very good, very good. Let me see questions. I'm not seeing questions, but I'm seeing some great comments. Great comments. Doing a great job. Good, 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 good.
Oh,
Oh no. Oh, this is a good question, and I had this question too. This is a question too. Somebody's asking a good question. What's the average cost to have a hot water heater drained? To have the plumber come out and drain it for you?
maintenance. The maintenance average cost is I think last time $65,
Okay. And
depending on the plumber.
yeah, and yeah, I was going to say that too. It depends on the plumber. Some might be 55, some might be 75, but that's about the going rate to now. When you say maintenance, is this just the draining of the tank, or is it more they should do with this $65?
Well, when they come out, they're gonna do more than just draining. They're gonna look at your pipe, make sure that if you have a gas water heater, they're gonna check the gas pipe and making sure that no gas is leaking from the pipe. They're gonna check. We didn't talk about the expansion tank, but we'll get into that next time. They're gonna check the expansion tank that sits to the top of the tank of the water heater, because some houses don't have expansion tank. Um, I think with any house that was built, I think after 2000, has to have and code required them to have a expansion tank. But we'll get into that another time. But
Okay,
they'll come out and check all that good stuff.
good, good, good. About $65
Mhm.
is about the going rate. That ain't bad. That's not
Yeah.
bad. It's $65. See,
Before
I got that.
before you go to the next slide, I want to we're gonna go ahead and talk about refilling the water heater, because
Okay.
I don't think it's on the next slide. So I want you to go ahead and refill the water heater. Now, how you do that? You're gonna go backwards, work your way backwards. So you're gonna, unhook the water hose if you had one hooked up to it. Close the shut off at the bottom of the tank. You're gonna go ahead and go to the main shut off first, and go ahead and cut the water back on so that we can go ahead and start filling the tank back up. Okay. Once the tank is full, then you go. If you had a electric water heater, you go to the main panel and cut the breaker back on. Or if you had the gas, you go ahead and cut the gas back on. All right, and then you can go ahead and sit and relax. Then you'll be good to go.
Good,
All
good,
right,
good,
so we
good.
can go to the next one. All right, this is a good one too. A lot of people don't see this often because we in Georgia, we don't really have cold weather like that. But we're going to talk a little bit about water heater installation. And if you look to the picture to the right, or to the right, that is what you call a installation jacket. So it covers the water heater. Most of the time, you're going to see that when you have a water heater in a crawl space. All right, because you don't have any um, HVAC system down there to keep it warm or keep it cool. So you want to have a installation jacket covering it. I also recommend too, if you got one in the garage, especially if you live like North Georgia, you want to go ahead and cover it too. I would buy one to cover it too, to keep it warm, and that way you won't have any problems with it. So definitely, it actually the water heater come with the jacket. All water heaters come with the installation jacket. So some plumbers just don't put it on, they're lazy. But I recommend that if you don't have any kind of HVAC system in that area, go ahead and put your installation jacket on. All right. Next slide. Now, when you get ready to go on vacation, a lot of people don't know this, and this just goes, this is about the gas water heater, or if you have a tankless gas heater. When you go out of town, on your water heater, on the thermostat, it says vacation. So what you want to do, you want to put your water heater on vacation before you go out of town. What that does, it just stops the burns from coming on, and you don't have to worry about wasting gas or heating up water that you're not going to use. So anytime before you go out of town, make sure you put your water heater on vacation mode. All right, and that's it.
Excellent, man. I'm gonna tell you, man. Woo, you stepped on your boy's toes today, because knowing I go on vacation, I don't put nothing on nothing. I'm out. So, woo, yes, yes, good information. Hey, questions, anyone? Questions. The chat line is open. The chat line, it is wide open, you guys. Look, Ray, great information. And as real estate agents, I think there's some things that we have really learned. We learned, so as we go through the walkthrough, if there's a question, we at least know what a valve is, what some of these different things are. As I think that we also learned, especially us homeowners, hey, once a year, we need to be draining these hot water tanks. And I'm going to be the first to say, I haven't been doing it. Pressure valve once a month, Lord knows I haven't been doing that. I will say this, for the majority of us on the line, I'm willing to bet we're not going to be sitting up there draining it ourselves. I'm willing to bet most of us will have a plumber come out for 65 and knock that thing out for us rather than doing it ourselves. Now, that's just me, right? But I'm willing to bet most of the folk on this line, we're going to pay somebody to do it rather than have somebody come out and do it ourselves. You know what I mean? But hey, absolutely wonderful information. Here's a question here. Ray, did you say you could only put the gas water heater on vacation mode, or does that apply for gas and electric?
Only the gas. Only the gas will have the vacation mode.
Okay, very, very good. Only gas.
Now,
yes, go ahead.
On your electric now, if you wanted to, you got two different elements in there. So you can go in there, you can turn it all the way down to stay cool if you want to go on vacation. But it don't have an actually vacation mode on.
Got it. Very good, very good. Questions. I think I have another question coming through here. All right. Okay. So, hey, listen, Ray, thank you very, very much. Hey, listen, write down Ray's information, 678-650-6245. I think somebody is saying go backwards on the slides. Can't go backwards, but if you have a question, contact Ray. That's what Ray is there for. Ray's a part of our team. He's my man. He's doing an excellent job. Contact Ray. Cell phone number 678-650-6254. Email address Ray, R-A-Y, at divinehomeinspectionllc.com. Divine Home Inspection LLC.com. Ray, once again, man, thank you for the information. Great webinar, a lot of great information. I know we have some great subjects to come up in the future as well. Man, thank you for your support. Thank you for being a part of our vendor list.
Thank you, Mr. Luke, for giving me the opportunity.
Great, wonderful. And you guys know, after every webinar, we always ask for reviews. We work hard for reviews. So I want to just simply launch a poll. What did you think about? How would you rank this training? We work hard for those 5-star reviews, but answer the poll on the screen. How would you rank this training with Ray from Divine Inspections? How would you rank this webinar? It's free, so I know you got something out of it. Look, I've been doing this almost 30 years and I got something out of it, right? You know, you are never too old. You're never too good not to learn something from somebody. So please answer that poll for me real quick. How would you rank this webinar? And while you answer that, you guys are going to receive a text message or you're going to receive an email from Platinum Real Estate on, how would you rank this webinar? We would love to have a 5-star review. Hey, this thing was free. I know you learned something. I know you have something that you can put in your back pocket to help you with your real estate career. And if that's the case, please, ma'am, please, sir, please give us that 5-star review. It'll just take you a few seconds, but we would love to have that 5-star review. So when you get that text message, when you get that email, please, ma'am, please, sir, show us just a little bit of love. We would truly appreciate it. Okay. All right, you guys. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for attending. Thank you for being here. And let me mention one more time, go to my website, lutherragsdale.com. Go to lutherragsdale.com, click that event link. Click that event link at lutherragsdale.com and register for all of my upcoming webinars, workshops, boot camps, everything that I got that I have going. Reach out, register for it now. Don't miss my next event. I'm going to have one coming up next week. Would love to have you there. Okay? Thank you. May God bless you. Talk to you soon. Thank you for all of your support. Love you. See you soon. May God bless you.